So we're going to summarize some of the defensive tactics that we've done so far. So I've gone through all the approaches. You know, I was using my palms, I was using my body language, I'm positioning myself in the best position possible. I moved away from the right hand. I want to know if something's going to happen. You know, a punch flies in, and I use this shape, what we call framing. So I'm just going to show you the frame. So I can be square, and I use the frame. I could step right, I use the frame. I could step left, I use the frame. And the good part about it is I didn't know he was going to throw the right, but he could have surprised me and thrown the left also. But the frame works good for everything. So now I don't know whether he's going to throw the left or the right. What I do know is it's more difficult to throw the left properly because of how I've stood with my body. He'll probably throw the right, but I still don't know which one he's going to throw. And he's decided to throw the right. I frame, I keep my head up, and I look at him. So that was the first action, is getting your frame up and basically wedging inside of the attack. And the way I explain it to when someone is just learning, I say I have this samurai sword, and it's very, very sharp here, and here's the handle. So before I give you the lesson, what would you do if I go to cut you? And without me having, no, I'm going to cut you with a samurai sword, where would you step in? You stepped in properly, right? So it's the same thing. This is just as bad as a samurai sword. So he's made sure to move away from my bladed body. He comes over to this side, so that it will take me longer to reach him. As soon as his hands are out, and that's what's going to be really important, is that your hands are already out in a position of controlling the distance, so that when I do move suddenly, boom, you're in a great position. The next stage was to clear out the arm. So I've approached the subject, I've done everything, tried to bring down the situation. I have been struck, or he did try to strike me. I wedged inside, and right away I take control of the arm. I keep my head very close. I arm drag, I clothesline, and here are some details. You notice how his back has gone back. I raked the spine, so we're just going to turn him. I rake the spine, and when I come around to do a responsible, legal, vascular restraint, I must not put any pressure on the throat. So I'm going to turn him again. There can be no pressure on the trachea. I want to put double pressure on the carotid. So what I do is I turn away so I don't get head-butted, and I make sure to cut all the way until my elbow is flat. I don't let him see my arm. I hide the hand, and I start to press my elbows in. So we're going to get him to do that. So he's bladed his body. He's going to frame when he sees the attack. He wants to rotate that arm out of the way. I'm just going to get you to pull it underneath. And the way we remind ourselves is lateral pass, like as in football. And you're just going to turn me around. And you can see the elbow is lined up. And I'm going out. So just some details. You don't want a space underneath here. This is how I would actually teach you to defend yourself, is to take the pressure off. So he presses it down. Both elbows squeeze, and it happens very quickly, okay? So again, it's really, really important that you put pressure on the carotid arteries, and not to the point where the person passes out or falls, but to the point where he starts to relax and lose power, and then we're going to move him into another position. Thanks.